Hello, I'd like to thank you all for coming out. I'm Megan Allgaier, and this is Carl White here. In case you didn't know, this is dog park meeting, so if you're not here for the dog park, then wrong place. All right, so Carl's going to start off by talking about the facts and about where it's going to be, and then I'll talk about all the fun stuff.
Thank you, Megan. Just want to paint a quick picture of how we got. Hold on a second. Does the mic need to be turned up? Test, test. There we go. Just want to paint a quick picture of how we got to where we're at. I assume most folks who are here are dog park advocates, have been waiting for a dog park in San Angelo for a long time. I think we're finally to that point where we've got all the pieces in place to move forward. We've talked about it with the Parks Recreation Advisory Board at least 2 or 3 meetings, and then Megan came along and encouraged the City Council to talk about it. So we took an item to City Council. And speaking of City Council, we have Council Member Rodney Fleming here in the audience. I always like to point out the council members so they can get all the questions. We took a council item on the 18th of March, and council authorized us to move forward with the project. I'll mention the steps we've got to take in that process moving forward. We've talked about different locations to City Council. One location, if you hear the Lone Wolf Bridge site, that was mentioned as well, that it's still a possible site, but right now we're focusing on, and council gave us direction to move forward on, the site near the Red Arroyo Trail Project and College Hills Boulevard. Cost could range from $50,000 to $150,000, and it really depends on exactly where we do it. It's at the upper range if we have to build parking. But if we can tie in the project with parking that's going to be added with the Red Arroyo Trail Project, we're looking at the lower range. Cost for maintenance, and we'll have to have that discussion with City Council before it's finally okayed and we actually construct the park. We're looking at the range from $8,000 to $10,000. If we tie it in with an existing parking lot and existing facilities at that parking lot, which will have lighting, then we're looking at the lower range. We'll talk a little bit more about specifics on this drawing here, but this shows the location we're talking about and different options. We've got, this is College Hills Boulevard, north to south. This is Unidad Park here, Millbrook. And you can see the trails that'll be added as part of the Red Arroyo Trail Project. And we'll look at that again here in a second. Most of y'all may be familiar already with dog parks. Just wanted to show you the ones we showed to City Council. This is Wiggly Field in Denton. As you know, dog parks are segregated with the large dog areas, medium dog areas, small dog areas. Most of them only have 2 separations. This is the one in Abilene, Camp Barkley, with the large dog area, small dog area, and all the parking. Cedar Bark Park in Round Rock, which was quite elaborate, with an entrance. Nice entrance. Washing area for dogs. Drinking fountain for dogs. Maintenance access for maintenance equipment, trash cans. Friends of the Dog Park, and I would hope that we would have a Friends of the Dog Park established as well for our park. And if you're interested in that, please let us know. Display board for announcements, postings, dispensers for the doggy bags. This one had a pond. At this point, we're not talking any water features at this park, and I think y'all know the reason why. Some parks even have obstacles for the dogs to run around or jump through. Okay. Before, I don't know if we had all the pieces in place. I think we have all the pieces in place now. We've got a Girl Scout working on her gold project. We've got the city. We've got the public really fired up about the project. We've got the council on board now, the Parks and Recreation Advisory Board. And I think we've got businesses interested as well. In terms of fundraising, so it's on us to raise the funds. And I want to make a clarification. I think together we're doing the fundraising. Clarification, Megan's not doing the fundraising. She's doing the marketing, organizing events, and getting folks excited about the project. Right now, First Experiences has been set up. Amy, would you be able to talk about that? Sorry to put you on the spot, but sure.
Hi, my name is Amy Mazzell Flint, and I'm Megan's Girl Scout leader. And before this whole dog park thing started, I had envisioned starting an organization to pair children in San Angelo who have never been to an arts event like symphony, ballet, theater, with the extra tickets that are never used at those events. A lot of people have season tickets and aren't able to go to every event, or just different. Or I know a lot of people have told me that they would donate tickets for something like that. So we're basically we're calling it First Experiences, allowing those kids to get the benefit of going to those arts experiences for the first time. So when we found out that Megan needed a nonprofit to work with to do the fundraising, we decided to expand First Experiences just a little bit. And since this is her first time ever doing a dog park, so we figured this is a first experience for her. And it's the first time she went before City Council, and so it all kind of works together. So First Experiences will be the partnering organization to raise funds for Megan. So if you have any questions about donations or fundraising events or anything like that, Megan's doing the marketing, but I'm going to be, for now, the face behind the fundraising aspect of it. Okay. Oh, yes. Yes, we are in the process now of becoming a 501c3, so all your donations will be tax deductible. I spoke to somebody about this whole process, and they said that we're good with the paperwork. So by the time you all file your taxes next year and are interested in getting the tax deduction, we will by then be a tax deductible entity.
So if folks want to make donations, it should be made to First Experiences with the memo line dog park, San Angelo Dog Park, and mailed to this address? Correct. Okay. Thank you. Excellent. Thank you. And our target for fundraising right now, what I've been telling folks, is $75,000. And that's assuming we'd be able to do the park without having to add additional parking. There has been some talk on the Facebook page about adding shade because some of the sites we're looking at don't have any trees or any shade. So if we're looking to add shade, we would probably need to bump that figure up by about $10,000 to $15,000. It just really depends on which site we choose. Let's talk a little closer about locations. When we presented to council, we looked at this being option one and this being another option. This location doesn't have parking, would have to add a drive and a parking area, but it's about a little over 2 acres, and we could divide that up into large dog and small dog area. The good advantage to this site is that it does have a small grove of mesquite trees at this location. So it does have shade, but it would be the most costly choice because we'd have to add the driveway and the parking. But it is an option. The other option we looked at the time was putting the dog park here. It's not even quite an acre, so we're thinking maybe we could put the small dog area there. This section being part of option one is about 1 acre, so it could be for the larger dogs. And both of these locations are adjacent to parking, which makes it very convenient. But the disadvantage here, there's no shade, and it's split. So if folks have a smaller dog, and a larger dog, have to make a choice how you're going to do that. Another option, which we didn't present to council, but in general we just talked about the Red Aurora area, is this larger area here, which is getting close to about 5 acres total, which would make an excellent location. It's flat, therefore, and it's closer to the Red Aurora, therefore it'd be a little bit more prone to flooding, but I think all of us would like to have some flooding right now. But the only issue I see here, it's a few issues, a little bit farther for folks to walk from the parking. There's no shade, and if we wanted to tie in a kind of a central point where you would go into the entrance, we would have to bring a walkway over it to some point. if you get what I'm saying. You'd have to come off the trail to some point, because I don't think we'd want to divide it this way, although I suppose we could. I think we'd want to divide it this way, perhaps put the small dog area here and the large dog area here. That's what we're looking at. So and when we get to the point where we talk about comments, I want to hear y'all's feedback about these locations, because we want to make sure everybody's on board with what location we're choosing. Okay, once we've raised the funds, at least the $75,000, we've got to go back to City Council with the final plan, show them the construction, tell them the details about the construction, and have a discussion about maintenance. There will be a cost of maintenance. Our hope is that we can get some naming rights for that and other donations, and there's other means to generate funds to pay for the maintenance. Although the cost is fairly low, we're talking $8,000 a year. Every little bit counts. And during budget cycles, asking for any additional money in the budget isn't an easy process. So we need to try to find a way to cover as much as we can of the maintenance cost. And then the city has set up two accounts, a revenue account and an expenditure account. City doesn't have too many rules about receiving money, but we have lots of rules about spending it. We will have to go back to City Council once they've approved, and it'd probably be concurrent to make an amendment to the city budget to spend that money that we've received into our account. And at this point, I'm thinking we're doing construction, most of it, unless it's a parking lot, in-house. So we'll have to work that in with the city's crew, their schedule, and their work. If we have to contract more than just a parking lot, it will cost a little bit more. But at this point, I think we can do it in-house. And we're talking about tying this in with the Red Arroyo project. And David, you may want to correct me, but that project should starts construction later this summer. Is that correct? Sorry.
TxDOT is handling the bidding process with that project. The drawings are going to them this month. They'll review it. By June, they're supposed to put it out on the street for bidding. So I don't know what their process or timeline is once they put it out, how quickly they can get a contractor on board. Hopefully they could start maybe by August or September. And we're thinking maybe a 9-month construction time. So that would put it in the spring of 2015, hopefully when the Red Arroyo is completed.
So I'm thinking the construction of the park would probably tie in with that, and probably towards the end of the construction of the trail project. If we choose this location, I don't think we can build the park and then build the trail. We have to build the trail in the parking lot first. Yes, ma'am.
I just wondered, is there anything we have to go through procedure-wise with TxDOT?
Sorry, this is recorded.
Is there any procedure we have to go through with TxDOT to add the dog park?
This is our property. The only concern we had with the state was with TCEQ, and we already talked to them. There's nothing that we have to do as part of the construction of the project, but we have to make sure that if there's any issues reported with any water downstream, that we have to address maintenance and cleanup of the site. But that's the only issue that's come up. Okay. In a minute, I'm going to pass out a draft of rules, and we've really just copied this from Abilene's Dog Park. It's easier to go with, not to recreate the wheel. And it seems the rules seem to work there. I've seen some discussion about some of the rules on the Facebook page. This is just a draft. We will have a discussion with the Parks and Recreation Advisory Board at the meeting tomorrow at 3:30 about the rules. So I want you to, I'll hand this out. Y'all take a look at the rules and give us your input. I didn't see anything on here that really, I think, would be very restricting or constraining. And logos. We talked about early on, Megan and I, about perhaps doing a logo for the park. And I asked her if she had an artist in mind who could do that, and she said no. So we found somebody, and on the Facebook page, we showed the different logos. And I'm showing them in order of the fewest amount of votes that were received. This was option C. This was option A, and it was fairly close between A and B. Do you remember the total numbers?
I have a tally somewhere.
It was fairly close, but option A came in second, and option B had the most votes. So our thought now is to take this to a graphic artist. If you know of any graphic artists who will do it for free, we would love to talk with you. Oh, we see some hands back there. I'll talk with you. We want to get this graphically represented, and we'll use that for the Facebook page and for the dog park, the sign. And speaking of the Facebook page, just wanted to show you, if you haven't, is everybody familiar with the Facebook page? Folks who are on Facebook? Megan set this page up. It's not a city page. And she's been making announcements and different information there and having different conversations. So that's the best way to get in contact with her, is through the Facebook page, through Messenger. San Angelo Dog Park. As simple as that. And further contacts, you can contact me at my office. Here's the number, 657-4279, or my email address. And I think at that point, we'll turn it over to Megan, talk about events. And if you have questions afterwards, please, let's have a discussion, get your input.
Thank you. All right, I'm Megan. As most of y'all might know, I'm a Girl Scout of Central Texas. I'm an ambassador, and I'm working on my Gold Award. Since I was little, I've been wanting to have this dog park so badly, and I made it my Gold Award. I thought it was the best one out there. So here I am. Like Carl mentioned, the dog park Facebook page. I'm surprised it has over 1,200 likes already. I mean, I got about 500 in the first day, and that's awesome. I'm really surprised about how supportive everybody is. It's awesome. So go like it if you haven't, and share. There's the walkathon that's coming up, May 17th. So mark your calendars, 10 to 2 a.m. at 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. It's over by Unidad. It's mainly like the breast cancer awareness walkathon. It's going to be where you bring your dog and you're going to do laps around the Unidad walkway that's already set up. And there's going to be like an entry fee, so that's how we're going to get money for that for the dog park. And it's going to go through first experiences. Also, there's going to be a photographer there that can take doggy pictures for a small fee that will also go to the dog park. I believe that he's with the Turn the Page Foundation, so he's also helping out. We're going to need lots of volunteers for that, so if anybody's thinking about helping out, that'd be great. We're also thinking about pavers and benches that could be sponsored, kind of like at the library. Like over by the entrance, we'll have a little like bulletin board, and there will be like pavers where you can stand on, where you can put your dog's memorial there, or you can put your own name on it, whichever. Or benches, you can pay for the bench and a little donation to have a bench with a plaque with your name on it, or memorial of your dog. So that's going to be happening. Also, we're thinking about having collection jars, about having like a jar set up in vets or in shops like Petco or anywhere that's possible, and have people just donate and go and pick them up about like a week or so every week. We're also thinking about having a silent auction at this walkathon. If y'all don't know what a silent auction is, it's where people, like different stores and companies donate things, and then we make a basket and people auction for it, and whoever gets it, they donate that money and they receive everything that was donated. So we're definitely going to need lots of volunteers if anybody's willing. We're going to need volunteers for setting up the walkathon. We're thinking about maybe having someone there to do t-shirts, to get everybody to have a dog park t-shirt with the logo on it. Also, we're going to need people for the pavers, getting people to sign up and get the word out about the pavers for everybody to sign up and get their name on the park. Why not? It's not about me, it's about the community. So I want all of y'all's names on it. We're gonna need people to put out all the collection jars at all different places and ask about them, of course. And then, I don't know how we're gonna do the pickup. I might have to do that, I have a car. For the silent auction, we're gonna need lots of people to go out to different places and ask and make them aware of what we're doing and seeing if they can donate anything that would be helpful. It doesn't have to be just pet stuff. It could be kitchen stuff. There's a lot of people out there that like kitchen stuff and they'll auction for it. Anything is helpful. Yes, ma'am.
Gift cards too.
Yes, gift cards. That's an amazing idea. I didn't even think about that. Thank you. So we're going to need a lot of help with that. So if anybody's thinking about volunteering, we're going to need your help if you could stick around afterwards so we can maybe set up a committee for each thing. Any questions or comments? Okay, so you want to do that? The comments? Okay.
Test, test. Okay. If y'all have questions, we want to talk about different things we've talked about here, about the process, we can answer those questions, or about the fundraising. I think Megan does want to have a conversation with folks who want to help specifically with the events. Sorry. Just a second.
I was sneaking up on him. Megan, are you aware that Texarkana built 2 dog parks last year?
No, I was not.
One in Texarkana, Texas, one in Texarkana, Arkansas. And part of that was funded by a contest by PetSmart in their Pet Safe brand. Now, I'm not aware if they're holding a contest this year, but here's the newspaper, and you might want to check that out, because if they're going to give us $100,000, it would be a good way to go.
Like I said, anything is possible. Anything.
My name's Russell Jacoby, and I've been interested in dog park here for a long time. Carl White knows that. I'd like to be a volunteer. I've got many years in construction. I've done projects in the past. I would like to be considered as a contractor at no cost. I know how to hire and get bids on everything.
Make sure you speak to the mic, because we are recording.
Okay. I'm very familiar how to get bids from different companies on how to get things done. I would like to see the dog park being as good as the best and better than the rest. We want to. I've got a lot of spare time. My everything I do is free now. I don't even charge for expenses or anything like that. Carl has done a lot of studying on dog parks, so he knows equipment goes in there. Let's make it great. We need shade and all kinds of stuff. And if you want me to be involved in this, being a contractor at no cost, and maybe getting volunteer labor and materials. I've done it in the past. In 1987, I built meals for the elderly using volunteer labor and materials in 1 week using speed construction.
Certainly is a possibility. I think most folks may forget back 10 years ago that the community built Kids Kingdom Playground. It was contractors and donated material, and it was about 1,000 volunteers.
Also, the Salvation Army built a playground in 1 day.
That's something to consider, and if you're interested, well, Carl knows how to get a hold of me. Thank you.
let me hand out this, the list of the rules I've got back there. Did y'all, yeah, David Knapp's going to start handing those out. If y'all have any comments about the location or the process, any thoughts on your mind about what we need in the dog park other than what we've kind of gone over?
I don't know if y'all have looked at that Abilene Dog Park, but they've got the water fountain. So I mean, something like that for the humans, and then the lower one for the dogs. That was really neat. So, because whenever I was thinking about dog park, and I don't know if most people are like this, they don't really think about fountain water for the dogs. Well, they're going to need it after running around and running around and running around. So, that's another option. That's something else to think about. Is I don't know how that works, plumbing to get, to make the fountain for the dogs, but I just thought that was really neat how they had the lower one to the ground for the dogs, the community doggy water fountain.
Basically, you just buy the unit like that.
Yeah, and the one in Abilene was just like that, except I think instead of 3, it just had 1 for the lower, but we can do 3, why not?
Does anybody have any comments on which location they would like? Because I'd love to hear from y'all, like the advantages and disadvantages you see in it.
Like, do folks see an issue of having to walk a little bit farther, or you may not know, but a restroom facility is planned to be added with the Red Warrior project, be part of the park, so it's not too far away.
Hi, I had just one thought about the location, and that would be the one that's the closest to Unidad Park. I guess the 1B and 1A. I know that there would be a distance to walk between the two, but I really like the idea of it being closest to Unidad Park just because so many people that have dogs also have children, so they can kind of go back and forth between the two. And a lot of people, I go to Unidad Park all the time, and I see people walking their dogs there already, so they're already used to going right there. So, I mean, I think that wherever the dog park is, people will go to it, but that one, in my mind, that one seems to be the best location.
And of course, we could do
The yellow with the two.
And we could do 1A and then 1C, or we could do 1B and 1C.
Okay, that would be perfect.
Even be closer.
I approve of that.
I think this was brought up on Facebook. But do y'all have a plan for getting rid of the stickers that are near that area? Because I walk my dog at Unived Park now, and it's like bad.
That's a hard question.
I don't know. I'm sorry. Or have little booties for the dogs. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, it's debatable at this point whether we'll add irrigation. We have talked about adding irrigation. Of course, we don't have the water to use the irrigation system, but the thought is there would be, over time, a lot of foot traffic and dog traffic that you'll wear down the ground, so it just basically becomes dirt. So at the very least, we're thinking about maybe at least having a water connection port where we could set up a water cannon. We have a water cannon that shoots several hundred feet. Of course, we don't plan on using that anytime soon. But we're talking about irrigating. As long as we can get some irrigation on the site, we can get the turf established, which will help with the stickers. But also, we would need some budget for applying pre-emergence to keep the stickers down. It's possible. It's just a monetary question. Fundraising? Do you want to talk any more about fundraising? Or? Well, unless if there's not any more questions, I think if those of y'all want to stick around and get in touch with Megan to make sure she's got your information about volunteering for the upcoming events and some of the activities that she talked about. I think she'll need that. I guess that's all we've got, unless y'all have any other questions. We appreciate y'all coming.